Welcome you on the show, Sports Update on Trust TV. I'm Adeni Ajishafe. You just saw there, that clip you saw has to do with Nigerian international para-badminton star. Her name is Mariam Bolaji. She has done well for herself. Recently, she won 2 gold medals in Spain at the Para-Championship that took place there. And Nigerians can't stop celebrating her for what she's done. That's why we're starting with that first story that has to do with the state governor of Kwara State, where she's from, celebrating her. Nigerian para-badminton champion Mariam Bolaji received accolades from home governor for the fact that she has done well for herself and also putting Kwara State, Nigeria in the world map, because a lot of people are right now tracing her. In fact, we saw a clip of her where she was granted an interview talking about where she's from, how she started, and the coach that encouraged her to go into para-badminton. Right now, Mariam Bolaji has become a world star. She was standing number 10 or 11 rather, but right now, to let you know that she has been ranked number 5 in the world right now, ahead of the Olympics coming. So, Nigerians are celebrating Mariam Bolaji, and right now we start with that on the show with Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
Thank you, Adeni, for having me back. I think it's a very good development, and she has made herself proud. She has made her country proud, and she has made our state also proud. So, what we need to do now is let's celebrate. Let's reduce the celebration a bit. We still have a bigger task ahead. She's going to Olympic. That's in the next 2 months. That's Paris 2024, and she's going to compete among the best. And from what she has done, for what she has achieved by winning the 2 gold medals within the space of 2 weeks in Spain, dislodging the current number 5 and moving from 11th position to 5th position, all eyes will be on her. Everybody will be looking out for, oh, what can she do? What can she do? What can she do? So she has to go out there and make sure that she do what? Try her best to bring home medal from the Olympic. She has never won any medal at the Olympic before, so this is going to be the first time. So preparation, exposure, experience is what I think it is needed for her right now. Yes, we have to celebrate this. It's worthy of celebration, but we should know that we still have a huge task ahead of us. Good one that is the state governor, His Excellency Abdulrahman, is welcoming her, is giving her the accolades. Also, they should try as much as possible to see what they can do to help her in terms of training, exposure, and development and infrastructure that will make her to achieve more than what she has really done. So what we need to do now is for everybody to come together, like we do normally say. We have other sporting activities that can give glory to the country. Look at what's the name of this guy, Onokoya, that won the world chess also. A lot of people were like, oh, so Nigeria are this good. So we have a lot of sporting activity that we can invest in that can bring out the best in our country. So for Mariam also, I think we need to start giving her the necessary training, because training can never be enough. It can never be enough. The likes of Messi and Ronaldo, what made them to be GOAT, as they normally call them, is because continuous training. Because when you get to that peak, it's very easy for you to fall. So you have to make sure that the training have to be consistent. So that is what I think we need to do for her. Then also the exposure, we have to give her the exposure. We have to make sure that we prepare her mentally for the task ahead. If you do all this, I'm sure by June and by July we'll be coming back and do what and celebrate her once again. A good one, she has achieved it, and we are very proud of what she has done.
A good one there for Mariam Bolaji right now, star in para-badminton, for what she's doing. She actually did so well over there in Spain, and Nigerians are really rooting for her to do well over there in France. We wish her the best as she continues to promote para-badminton. As we always say, that not everybody will play soccer. You can see now this is para-badminton, and she's doing so well. Away from that, let's go to soccer, football. Well, Enugu will be the place to be for the fact that the Super 8 that will be coming out, the Nigerian National League that will be coming up, where they'll be playing, is going to be in Enugu State. And right now, let's look at that story. Enugu to host Nigerian National League Super 8. Teams are battle ready for this season. Well, it used to be in Lagos, but now they decided to shift it, and now it's coming to Enugu State.
Yeah, it's a very good development to see the Super 8 NNL being shifted or being moved from Lagos State to another state, Enugu State. And that shows that the state governor also, he has done a lot. He's a sport-loving governor that said, oh, okay, no problem, bring it down to my state. I'll give you all the support logistic, I'll provide it. Refereeism, I'll provide it. Security, I'll provide it. And I think going forward, this is what I think the Super 8 NNL should entail. It shouldn't be something that should be dominated by a particular region being the one to host it. In fact, it should be part of what they should do it in rotational. We have this geopolitical zone. You can't tell me that no state will be ready to do this. How much is it needed to do that? So I think it's a very good one. It gives an open mind to all other teams coming down. We're not going to that Lagos, Jerry. All the time we're just going to Lagos, we're going to Lagos, we're going to Lagos. This time around, let's move it to maybe next time. Southeast, maybe next time let's go to the northwest, let's go to the northeast also. So it's also bring development to a state. That is one thing about hosting a competition. It brings a development to a state because you have to prepare by making sure you have the right infrastructure. Some of the infrastructure that you have not been using that have been decayed for a very long time because people are coming in there. You have to do what? To put them into service. And by doing that, you are providing employment. Because you have to employ people that will make sure that those services, those infrastructure are up to task. And you're going to generate revenue also. So it's a win-win situation for the league, the host, and even the players also. So I think it's a very good development.
A good development there coming content that has to do with the Nigerian national, the second tier of Nigerian league football. We're talking about Enugu State being the host. And all the teams are battle-ready. Teams like Nasarawa United, Sporting Supreme Sokoto United, El Kanemi Warriors are all battle-ready to participate in the Super 8 that will be coming up in Enugu State. Well, it's going to be the cold city where they will be hosting that particular Super 8 there. Right now, talking about football, our ladies under 17 girls, they call Flamingos. They'll be facing Burkina Faso soon in the 2024 under 17 World Cup qualifier that will be coming up. And the coach, Olowokere, is already talking tough that Flamingos won't underrate Burkina Faso, even though we know that when it comes to women football, Nigeria has really been a force to be reckoned with. But despite that, he says they will not underrate the Burkina Faso team.
Yeah, a good mindset game, and to let them know that you are not there yet, and this is football. It's 90 minutes and plus the extra time, 100 minutes or whatever, and anything can happen. So that means that it's preparing their mind towards it. I don't think you've won the game or you've won the match before the match. So you go in there with this lackadaisical attitude that is in on Burkina Faso, but take it or leave it. The honest truth is when it comes to the female football in Africa, especially at this under 17, 21, what have you, give it to the Nigerian ladies. We are always the premium inter pares. We are always the best among equal. We don't have an issue when it comes to really that. We should just look at transition, how to transit them from 17 to 19, 21, 23, and to the Super Falcon. So I think he has done his job, and the ladies also, they respond by doing what? By giving it to the Burkina Faso that we are not your mates when it comes to this competition.
We know that when it comes to women football, really, we've dominated Africa to some extent. If you watch, like under 17, under 20, it seems we always get it so right now. But when it comes to the senior team, the gap is closing. Ghana, South Africa, Equatorial Guinea, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire are all closing the gap against us. I'm talking about Super Falcons now. What do you think can be done so that the gap will be widened back again?
To be honest with you, it's continuous training, just like I said concerning the case of Miriam, that for you, once you get to that top, you are the team that everybody wants to beat. Everybody wants to beat you. They want to defeat you. They want to make a name by defeating you. Take it or leave it. So what we just need to do is to make sure that we have our squad. Not that we need to have a squad. We have a squad that deserves to be there. That's the truth. We have to have injection day in, day out. We need to have discovery day in, day out. We don't need to stick to a particular player that, we are used to you. We have to remove whatever sentiment that we have. We have to look at it that we are serving our fatherland, and what we need to do is to put the right players there. Don't be surprised. You can have under 17 player that is even far better or more informed than Asisat Oshola.
Of course.
Than Rashida Ajibade. Even than our the goalkeeper. If you have them, give them that opportunity so that it won't be that, it is you have a permanent jersey. Whatever happens,
you can stroll in
and stroll out. So we need to change that mentality. That is what we really need to do. Then we need to now have a more energetic, athletic, and younger Super Falcons. If you look at the South Africans, the Zambians, they have their ladies. They are very, very, if not because of the experience, we wouldn't have qualified for the Paris
Olympics, yes.
If not for the experience, and it's not all the time that the experience will take you to. So what we really need to do is to do that very, very objective, not subjective, when it comes to picking who will represent the countries.
Well, talking about football, there our ladies are battle ready to face Burkina Faso in a two-leg action that will be coming up. And according to their coach, Olowokere says they will not underrate them at all. Hopefully, they will actually pick that particular World Cup there for 2024. Well, I was talking about football, but this time around, we switch over to the men. Well, Super Eagles, we know how they are ready to prosecute all their games, World Cup qualifier, Nations Cup qualifier, and we know that teams are not always taking it easy against the Eagles. But a man who has seen it all, they call him the headmaster, Adepoju, is already advising Super Eagles to have self-belief. 2026 World Cup qualifier, Super Eagles players must show self-belief, and truly coming from the headmaster.
Yeah, confidence is very important before you play a football competition. You must have the confidence that I'm winning this match, no matter what happens, because I'm going to do all my best to perform optimally. And from what he said, it's like we are lacking confidence in one way or the other. Why we're lacking the confidence? I'm talking about the Super Eagles, and we've seen a lot of African teams now, and they are coming against us. This just concluded AFCON is like Nigeria versus the rest of Africa. We are playing against Ghana, it was a tough match. Against Cameroon, it was a tough match. Against South Africa, it was a tough match. Even against the Côte d'Ivoire also, we saw what happened. So what we need to do is, because we are successful, and everybody wants to beat someone that is successful, to be able to make their own name. So, like I said during the morning show, the pressure of we qualifying for the World Cup, yes, we have to. It's a must. We didn't go to Qatar, and we can't afford to miss this time around that they are playing it in Canada, Mexico, and in the United States of America. We recall vividly our performance at US in '94. However, what we need to do now is to have a pattern. I'll continue saying it, to have a style of play. We don't have any for now. That's the truth. What happens to us during the AFCON was because of the injury that Alassane Yusuf had, that made them to say, okay, let's tweak it this way. And we saw what happened during the final. You can't go to a competition like that with only one formation, only one style of play.
I still don't understand why these days Eagles decide to be taking 4-4 midfielders to competitions. For anytime they release the whole Super Eagles list, you'll be surprised you will see just 4 midfielders, strikers 8. You can play, how many can you play? 2. At worst, 3. I don't know why the midfielder controls the whole park. He's always having a shortage. What happened at AFCON? It's high time, like you said, that Eagles technical crew should sit down and look at, why do we always have 4? Why don't we have even the 6? So that just in case anything happens, Alassane Yusuf injury taught us a lesson. A
very big lesson. And then, like you rightly said, if you are going for a competition, let's say AFCON, for example, if you are playing against West African teams, okay, the formation that you use will be different from when you are playing in North African teams. Because their style of play is totally different. When you are playing the likes of Ghana, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, you have to go physical. From there, you can use 2 defensive midfielders. As in very 2 strong defensive midfielders. Their own is, don't cross this line. Cross it out. If you are playing against the North African teams, because of their pace, they're athletic, they play more like the European style, they can now deploy the use of wingers to play. But in a situation where you are going, you're only going with 4 midfielders. So it's like you have a mindset of, oh, this is the only style of formation. Before you go for a competition, you even presume that, oh, okay, what if Victor Osimhen, Boniface, Ekong, they have injury? Who will come in for them as a substitute? Your first 11 should be able to tweak into 2 or 3 formation. We've seen that happening times without number. So that is what we are really lacking. We don't need to be going with our 4-4-2 formation. No, it shouldn't be 4-4-2 all the time. There are times that you need to do 4-4-2. There are times that you need to do 3-5-2. There are even times that you need to do 4-2-3-1. So if you are using 4-2-3-1, definitely you have to know that the 3 attacking offensive midfielder that you are using, they are very, very creative. That is where you can use Alex Iwobi very, very well. Put Alex will be up there. Just tell Victor Osimhen, you don't need to be coming down, you'll be tired. Just stay up there. So you give him supporting, creative 3 midfielders to support him. Then you have 2 defensive midfielder to block it. Then you look at it again that what we need to do is we have to make use of the wings. Samuel Chukwueze, Moses Simon and Co. All of them can come in. Iheanacho can deploy him to the wing. So we have all the players that can do this. But what we are lacking is the tactics. And that is what Finidi George and his technical crew must sit down, first of all, to look into what style is best suited for our Super Eagles. And don't look at what the 1994 squad, what they use, and that really favored them. No. Football has changed between 1994 to 2024. That's over 20 years now, right?
Yeah, of course. 1994 is 30 years.
30 years now. So that means football has really, really changed. So you can't say, oh, because we use 4-4-2 during our era, let's continue using the 4-4-2. No, you don't use that again. So you have to really, once you get the pattern and style ready. For example, now look at the philosophy of some of the clubs in Europe. Liverpool, they have a philosophy. The philosophy is, this is what we play. We play 4-man defense, 4-3-3. So any coach that is coming in must stick into that philosophy of 4-3-3. In England also, 3 Lions, they have their own philosophy of what they do. So we as a country also, we must have a philosophy of this is the pattern, the style of football that we want to play. We have a player that can do that. If you get that right, take it or leave it. Qualifying for the World Cup will defeat everybody home and away. We won't have a problem with it. Once we get that right, and we have the time to do that, we can do that within 3 or 6 months. So once you have the 3 or 6 months to do that, just make sure you invite players that can fit into that your process, into that your program. So with that, I think we'll be home and dry. So if you need, the headmaster, Mutu Adepoju. Remember when you have Mutu Adepoju and you have Daniel Amokachi in your midfield, you can be rest assured that nothing is passing there. You have Sunday Olise there. So that is what we really need. We need to get those players that can really play according to our style. So I think he has spoken the mind, self-confidence, self-belief. However, we must have a pattern, because if you don't have a pattern, if you don't have a stage, even you have the confidence, you just go onto the pitch and you do what is totally not really needed. So that's why I think we need to take it from.
Coming from Mutu Adepoju, so the Super Eagles, their self-belief is the key right now concerning themselves to do well for Nigeria in any competition they find themselves. But right now, let's talk about African ranking now concerning clubs in Africa. CAF club rankings. We look at that story. Nigeria misses out from top 20. Before we were 18 last year, as you remember, Rivers United was actually there. But right now, we are totally out. Let's look at that particular new list. About 3 clubs from Egypt and Morocco. Al Ahly, number 1 there with 1,450 points. Followed by Wydad Casablanca, Mamelodi Sundowns South Africa. Casablanca is from Morocco, Sundowns from South Africa. Esperance of Tunisia, Zamalek, Casablanca, Raja Casablanca there. Belouizdad, Pyramids of Egypt. You have Simba, even Simba of Tanzania could actually make it. Petroleo Luanda of Angola, RS Berkane of Morocco, Al Hilal. You can't take anything away from there. That's Sudanese team. TP Mazembe of Congo. And you have Young Africans, also of Tanzania. AS FAR of Rabat, that's Morocco. Etoile Sahel of Tunisia, you can't take anything away from them. Orlando, Paris, South Africa. UJS Kabylie of Algeria. And ASEC Mimosa of Cote d'Ivoire. Well, it seems football has actually shifted away from West Africa, because when you look at this particular top 20 teams now, ASEC Mimosa is from Cote d'Ivoire. And I can bet with you the remaining clubs are from South Africa, Tanzania, Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, and Algeria. Until
we understudy them, especially the North Africans, to see what they are doing right, how they are doing it, and we do the same thing, we'll continue to lament. That is why when it comes to CAF Champions League or
CAF
Confederation, it's either between the North African or the Southern African team. With the West African teams, I don't know what is really wrong with us when it comes to this.
Even the ASEC Mimosa that is included, so that it will look like
it's totally
West Africa is totally out from African football.
When you have top 20, and you have the North Africans, about 12 or 13 teams from there, and you have about 5 or 6 from the Southern African, and you have only 1 from the West Africa. So I think we really need to go back to the
Two
drawing
teams
board.
from Tanzania, young African.
Yes.
And Simba from Tanzania.
We really need to go back to the. Imagine a club from Sudan,
Al Hilal,
from Sudan, making top 20.
Congo, TP Mazembe. We know that.
They've been consistent. But Al Hilal. So we have to, and we have the likes of Enyimba. We have the likes of Raymond Stars. We have the likes of Kano Pillars. We have the likes of Rivers United. And we couldn't make the top 10. So sincerely, we need
top 20 now. This is top 20.
I'm even talking about we should be priding ourselves as top 10.
Okay, top 10, yes.
Not even coming below this top 20. And what we need to do is very simple, is investment. Most of these clubs that you have here, okay, if you look at the government ownership in them, it's very minimal. We'll continue to say this. It's very, very minimal. Take it away from this, and as regard the top 20, if you look at the top 20 richest club in Africa also, you can't see Nigeria there.
Well,
so we really have to do something. And what do we need to do? We'll continue saying it. Let the state governments, whatever hold they are having on most of this club, let them allow people to come in and do their investment and do what we have been saying. Football is what?
Sport is business.
It's business. So let's do sport as a business.
Seriously, that's the slogan we all want to work with, because right now sport is always business. And before we go, just a quick wrap there. That's to do with transfer. Ex-England striker Jermaine Defoe is in talks with Sunderland to become club manager. And the second one says Ajax could reappoint Ten Hag. Ten Hag as manager if he is sacked by United this summer. Coming from a stable of gossip, transfer gossip there, Ajax could reappoint Ten Hag if Manchester United sack him, that's it. But anything can happen. Maybe he stays back or not. Our time is really up now. Left the way he's looking at me. I'm sure you want to say something.
Just very simple. I'm sure there will be one of the happiest moments of all Manchester United fans to see Erik ten Hag to go. But they fail to understand that their problem is not the coach. The problem is in their structure.
Okay.
Until they change the structure, they'll continue to lament the same way that you are lamenting. For about 12 or 13 years now, they've been without Premier League trophy. The same way that you have gone 2 decades, 20 years.
Is it me or Arsenal? Why are you
denying Arsenal that you supported in the morning? You supported Arsenal in the morning.
The way you are saying...
You supported them in the morning.
You mentioned Arsenal.
Okay, are you not supporting them again?
Anyway, just have to wrap it up with that on the show. Sports update on Trust TV. I always want to give you that particular banter side of the show to make you laugh a bit. After all, sport is always there to soften all the whole whatever is happening in Nigeria. To give you those particular update there. Thank you so much, Olale Peters.
Thank you, Adeniyi. It's my pleasure being here.
I'm Adeniyi Ajisafe. Thanks for watching.